The Earth is couched in this place, this solar system. Maybe they didn't understand the solar system the way they did, but believe me, they understood. Hey, the sun is like important, and the nighttime is important. I mean, they understood all of this stuff. They understood growing season and food, and they got it. Okay, without deviating from the story, they got it. So this is what they came up with. This is what they came up with. Paradigm shifts based on ideologies and those words. Look at your picture again. Really seriously. Pause and look at your picture again. We haven't got into the lenses yet, but believe me, as the story unfolds, we're going to look at the lenses. That's incredibly relevant to now and over the next couple of years. Really relevant. So don't think the picture is just a picture. It's not. It's a story. It's part of this. So as time progressed, the conquering groups came up with more and more institutions. They came up with more and more ideas of here's some more religion of darkness, kids. Here's some more ideology for you. Here's some sermons to help you with our brainwashing. Here's some teachings. Oh, who cares if they're teachings of darkness? These are our teachings. And this is the order of things as they are now, because we are creating this paradigm, you see, because we've conquered you. You're the conquered. You are now living in a different paradigm than the paradigm of actual creation, which is planetary reality. That's actual creation. We're obliterating that from your mindset so you are easy to handle and easy to deal with. Because this is the new reality, you see. We are the conquerors and you are owned. We own you. We own you. And that's the way it is. You belong to us. We own you. Get over yourselves and get on with the new reality. This is the story. This is how all of that began. This is what actually really seriously happened. Now, as time went on, now we're going to jump forward a little bit in our story, not too quickly, but a little bit in our story. As time went on, this new way of thinking, this new paradigm, and never ever forget, even though we haven't got into the intensity of this yet, that part of the trait of humans being, or human beings, but I still like humans being better, part of the trait, inborn trait, created that way, whether you like it or not, is to create paradigms. It's to create paradigms. You know, you need a little free will to do this, but it's to create paradigms. So they were creating, the conquerors, the debauchering, conquering, diabolicals, conquering factions, groups, were creating new paradigms. And those that the implementations of those new paradigms, which is, hey, our teachings, our sermons, our doctrines, etc. These are the institutions we are setting up, because these institutions are for this new paradigm, and this new paradigm is now the new reality. And we don't care if you don't like it, because, hey, we're the masters and you're the slaves, so shut up. And that's how it went. Now, jumping forward, it keeps going on like this, and keeps going on like this, and keeps going on like this, and keeps going on like this. You got to remember, just like it was in the very beginning of the story, there were little population groups here, little population groups there, and as time went on, they grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, the same thing happened with the control freak groups, the minority. the control freak groups. As time went on, their paradigm, which is actually a territorial thing that you will see as we really break this down and look at it for what it really is and why it's a human trait. Their paradigms grew bigger and swallowed up more and more territory, more and more resources, more and more slaves. And that is the reality as it was. And like I said from the very beginning, we're still in this time frame. Don't forget that. It's going to be very important to the lenses. When we get to the lenses, refer to your picture again. Now, so, here we are in our story. Institutions are devised, and the institutions use those, the true meanings of those words as they're laid out in the picture. Sermons, indoctrinations, teachings, religions, all to create their paradigms. The paradigm is a thing to see here. The paradigm is the thing to see right now, where you are right now, listening to this on your device. You're actually listening to this on some device. It could be a computer, it could be a phone, it could be anything. It could be something that somebody handed you. It could be here, slip this into your computer. It's a thumb drive. Listen to these. It's important. They realized how important it actually was. That's why they gave it to you. Or they sent you to the site. Or you saw the YouTube. Who knows how you got your hands on this and got your ears to wrap around this, but this is what this is. So, now we are going to jump forward in time a long, long way in the future from this period that I'm talking about now. We're going to jump to the time of the Egyptian Empire. Now, the reason we're going to jump to the time of the Egyptian Empire is because we're going to talk about something that so many billions of people are familiar with that is, quite frankly, ridiculous. I mean, everybody knows this from probably every living generation that lives in the Western world right now. And if and since this is in English, hey, this is very fitting. And we're going to talk about the time of the Roman, not the Roman Empire, way before the Roman Empire. My apologies. We're going to talk about the time of the Egyptian Empire. And as they were growing, and it was the time of the gods of the Nile, it was the time of the gods everywhere. Just read your Bible sometime. Speaking of the Bible, this is the place that Moses was couched in. Okay, let's not ever forget that. Let's also not forget the pyramids. Kind of hard to forget because they're still sitting there. Let's not forget that all the stuff surrounding all of that, it's still sitting there. It's still sitting there. Out in the middle of nowhere. Actually, that wasn't the middle of nowhere then, but it is now. But it's still there. So we can't say, well, blah, 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 I'm a skeptic and blah, blah. Well, how do you explain these things still sitting there? How to explain that? Well, it can't be done. Anyway, without deviating from the story. So let's jump forward to this time. This is the time before Moses, and actually, now that I think about it, let's look at the time of Moses. So we're jumping way, 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 way forward in history now to the Egyptian Empire. Okay, that's where we're going to go. And let's unfold the story of Moses really, really quickly. I think we've all been sort of raised on this. I mean, who has not seen the Ten Commandments? Please raise your hand. If any hands go up, I'll be shocked. If you haven't seen that movie yet, if you haven't seen that set of movies, there's a bunch of them, by the way. If you haven't seen that yet, please do yourself a favor. Go out and see it, especially after listening to this. It's filled with all kinds of important stuff that they never tell you, but we're going to cover it in this story. Now, Another reason, excuse me, another reason we should look at this time frame is because let us not ever forget